Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Osato egbon.Here. Welcome to Moments with Hillstar. Today with me I have these two beautiful ladies. To my right I have Mrs. Ife Ero, a seasoned real estate broker who has had 15 years past experience in the banking sector and now the lead consultant to White Pendulum. And to my left, I have the beautiful Mrs. Candice Owaboy, the CEO of Blue Dodge Funds. And today, we are here to speak to you about things that are happening in the real estate sectors that you need to know before getting a property in Nigeria.
Hello everyone, good day. I'm sure this is going to be very interactive, so sit back and hear what we have to say.
Right. So good to have you join us right now. And I'm sure you are really going to benefit from, discussion we're going to be having today.
So, as an investor who wants to invest in a property in Nigeria, the questions you need to ask before getting into buying any property in Nigeria is number one, you should ask what location is this property situated? Because um, many people just hear about properties and they don't know exactly where the property is, and sometimes they expect there's this certain expectation people have concerning it. They're like, okay, I'm buying a house for X amount of money. I believe, like, some people will say, okay, if I'm buying a house for 250 million, they expect that that house will be in Ikoyi or VI. Do you understand? But this is like land price. When you are buying a land price in this location, Lekki, right? Then the second question you should also ask is, what title document does this property have? You should ask that question. Is very important. The title of the property. We have various type of titles for properties. We have the
CFO,
governor's consent. Yes, we have, different
Gazette is a good title as well.
yeah, gazette. We also have the gazette too. So these are things you need to ask before getting any property. Thirdly, you should ask, how long has this company been in existence? You should learn to ask that question. Also ask, what other properties have they done before, as in what are their past projects that they've
track
done.
record.
Yeah,
That's where
track
the track
record.
record comes in. Yes,
Yeah,
it's very important.
where they have done something that you can go and see, because most people want to go for quantity and not quality. They see a particular house and like, oh, this house is so expensive, but the quality is what makes that price that way. You understand? So these are questions you should ask. Also, you should also ask, is the road leading to this property accessible to the major road?
Yeah.
Is it in a secured environment? So these are the questions you should ask your real estate broker whenever you want to get a property in Nigeria. So I don't know if Miss Ife has something to tell you guys concerning stuff like this.
Okay, she has highlighted the major points with regards acquiring property in Nigeria, especially in Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, right now we're focusing more on Lagos at this point,
Yes.
and Lagos, like we all know, is fast developing.
Yes, that's very true.
And there's something I always say in terms of when it comes to buying properties. I'll keep telling you that the major thing to look out for. I keep saying three keywords. I'll say location, location, location. Location is very key
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to acquiring a property for so many reasons. I mean, we
Yeah.
cannot over
Emphasize.
the
Yeah.
importance
Of course.
location.
Yeah.
Where your property is located can either make or mar you. Even if most properties, the generic term of properties, like what we all know about properties, that it must appreciate. Like, that's like the standard. But your location can determine how fast,
It's good.
the faster it will appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
and all. So she has said it on location, the title, of course. Asking about the title and then telling you the name of the title doesn't just end there. I'm sure at some point during the course of this conversation we'll talk more about titles.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what we do about titles. But not just asking about the titles, ask about the location, ask about the track record of the
The company.
and if possible, you can even go ahead and ask, who are the developers of this company?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the people behind this company? those are key questions that you might want to find out, especially when it comes to real estate investment in Lagos.
Right, to make sure that they are credible people, because
exactly.
everybody is into real estate nowadays, but you need to know the key people in the real estate sector.
The key players,
So the key players, so you need to know who you are dealing with, who you are working with.
Yeah, true.
So that's
one key factor you need to consider is in terms of allocation.
okay.
Yes,
When are they going to allocate the property to you?
Yes, that's one very important.
Very important.
Very, very important.
You have to be
Yes.
sure at the time of purchase, when are you going to allocate? Is the property already set for allocation? Or is it something that maybe after payments you have to wait for a long while? So these are the key questions you should ask before you go in for that investment.
Okay, and with that, we go to the next question. Okay, so the next question is for Mrs. Candice Owaboy, the CEO of Blue Dutch. So what are the fears Nigerians, overseas have concerning investing in properties in Nigeria, especially this Lagos? What are their fears? Can you speak on it?
Yeah, first of all, I think the first fear an average diasporan have is lack of trust. Because a lot of them have even suffered it from family members.
Yes, that's a serious problem.
It is a serious problem. So, if you could, experience that from family members, it takes away the trust you'd even have for a total stranger. So that's the reason why we advise that rather than family members who are not even experts in this field, why not contact a company, that of course you can arrest if anything goes wrong.
Of course.
Like
family that there's sentimental, like
attachment
you want to
to it.
arrest your own brother, your own
Exactly.
sister. I've even seen people that their mothers will use the money to go and join them. What's this thing they join?
August meeting.
August meeting. They will use it to buy stuff, host their parties.
Use the funds to finance another sibling's life.
Yes.
Struggling.
And there's nothing you can do about it because this is your family.
Yeah, you can't really do it.
So compared to somebody that
like an estate, a
like
company, that you could easily, sue
the person.
So that's the reason why we always advise, okay, go the right way. These guys are experts. So all you need to do is verify the kind of company you want to invest with. And if they pass the test, then why not go ahead and invest with them? They are experts, and then definitely they would work out well for you. A lot of diasporans have gone that route, and that's why you see that probably 50% of the properties we have in Lagos, they are owned by Nigerians living abroad. So that shows that it works.
Yes,
going the route
it has been proven and
it works.
And it works. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So another area, that this is recent happening that just happened in Lagos. The issue of demolition.
Oh my God! I was waiting for you to say that.
The issue of demolition.
I was waiting because anybody you talk to, they are demolishing house in Lagos. So I'm not buying. I'm not buying. Okay,
it's kind of
please tell us.
It's scary. It's kind of scared a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
So when the news all started, we started seeing on social media and all that. People like us that are really in the sector, we knew firsthand what the problem was. We kind of sympathize with those affected.
Yes, really.
But
do.
in a way,
really
we
sad.
felt it's a lesson to all stakeholders, especially developers like us.
Okay.
You have to do the right checks before. First of all, you get the land, you do the due process. I think the problem started from the purchase acquisition of the land, because you have to go and check. You have to go to town planning.
Truthfully.
You have to go to town planning to check. You check the status of the land. There are some lands that you have that sometimes road costs across your land. So at the time of purchase, you know what portion to buy.
Yes.
And then
where
some
to
lands,
stop
where to stop the setback.
Very, very true.
Some lands, I had that experience too. One of our estates that we purchased, we realized that, okay, there's a road that cuts across it. So we simply told the family we're buying from, we stop at this point and give setback to the road. So we actually lost about 16 plots.
Wow.
So it was a
It's better to be late, to be early than sorry. How do I speak it now?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
at the, do the right thing
at the right time.
At the point of purchase. Okay. So you would know, if you go to Lagos State Town Planning, you would know if your land cuts across a canal or if it's close to a canal or if it's close to high tension. High tension is another area you should give setback from if you are purchasing.
Okay.
So some of these are where the errors came from at the time of purchase, and even when the properties were being built, did you get permits from the building agency to construct that particular property?
Okay, so I think these are questions that investors that want to invest in a property, these are questions you should ask whatever the company, the developer that you are buying a property from. These are the questions you should ask the person that, okay, you want to see
apart from asking these questions, there are things you would know on your own. You could go find out if your developer got a permit for that building. You could find out, okay,
how do they know? How do they get to know that?
You can find out. Sorry you can find out by also engaging professionals that can do these things for you.
Oh,
yes, because I've thought that most people like to
cut
costs and cut corners. Even if no matter how not so expensive you might think property is. Let's give an example. You're buying a property of 50 million naira. 50 million naira is a huge amount of money.
Of course.
So you should be able to take the pain and take the sacrifice to even spend a little
extra.
It might not be as much as you think,
right?
But to engage professionals. A surveyor is different from a lawyer.
Right.
Yes.
There are people that are professionals in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to the location, takes the coordinates from the location, and does the necessary search.
Yes.
Why you compare the coordinates with whatever
the company gave?
To be sure that it's the same thing. That's
true.
One aspect. The lawyer goes ahead to do the serious search, legal way. So, I mean, there are also brokers that are very seasoned that will go the extra mile to do all these checks even before they come and put the property out there
for sale. Right.
So there are different ways to go about it.
Okay.
But you need to be able to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Okay, so
get involved in buying any property.
Okay, yes. Well, there's something that has been going around. People has turned this demolition thing to a tribal war.
I don't think so.
Please help us tell them.
And truthfully, it is not a tribalist thing. It's not a tribal war, to be honest. So, if it seems like most of the houses that were being demolished were Igbos, you know our Igbo brothers now, they're very hardworking.
Yes.
So maybe it seems like they're the ones that beat a lot of properties, and maybe at
that exact location. Do you understand? So it's not like
this thing happened mainly in Ikota.
And
Ikota is dominated by 70% Igbo developers. Ikota is dominated by Igbo developers. So like 90% of developers in Ikota are Lekki.
Just like when we go first tag now, for example, first tag town, most Igbo people are the ones that dominate that area.
Ikota, right?
It's just a coincidence. It hasn't to do with tribalism at all.
Okay, so
check the charts.
Right.
You will see that they
actually built on the canal. And there's one reason why Lagos State government probably took this so seriously, because Lekki has been suffering from the issue of flooding in the last couple of years.
And that story has been everywhere. Like most of the time, when you even tell people come and buy property in Lagos, like I don't want water to carry me. I don't want water to carry me. It has been a story that we really want to take that story out of Lagos, because Lagos is a place that works. If there is an issue, our government, or as in, I give the governor that. I give the people, in charge of these things that when there is an issue, they always try to sort it out. If you compare Lagos with other states in Nigeria, Lagos always try to sort out their problems. So that's why they now figured out that, okay, these people
is caused by
the flooding, the houses built on the canal.
The flooding was years ago. It was really bad.
It was bad. It's getting better now.
In the last couple of years, we're getting flooding.
Yeah, but things have changed.
But because the ongoing construction is coming towards the Bejuleki axis, so there's a need to plan ahead. So I'm sure that's what led to this.
And a need to even get, control flooding even more. Because if you keep letting these houses block these waterways, just a matter of time, we'll go back to the flooded days.
Exactly, because a lot of development is happening around this Bejuleki axis. So I'm sure they're like, okay, let's plan ahead. Let's even be sure that everything is going to work according to plan. And that was like they say, every day for the thief, one day for the owner. So it was just unfortunate that this was the time that this was done. So it's not tribalism.
And it serves as going forward. I think a lot of developers are being careful. So in the end, it's like a blessing in disguise. Unfortunately, some people were made to pay for it, but it's a blessing in disguise going forward.
Developers and realtors that are genuine and true to themselves. There are real estate brokers that might not necessarily take the pain to do their searches, but we also have seasoned brokers that will take the pain. So it's also an eye-opener for brokers, for everyone, stakeholders, real estate brokers, developers, the buyers, in fact, everybody.
It's an eye-opener for everybody. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go to the next question. We'll dive into the next question. Okay. So I want to ask Mrs. Ife Ero. Mainland and island, where is the best place to invest? Do you prefer mainland or you prefer island? Where do you get quick returns on your investments in Lagos? What do you think actually about mainland and island? Where is the best place to invest in? What are your thoughts, your own opinion?
Okay, from experience, in my own opinion,
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected, but in my own opinion,
Yes.
that?
Please quote that. Quote it.
keep it at your left hand. Hold it. I stand to be corrected, but from experience, the island has lots of potentials.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even people in diaspora, if you go on and just type Ibejuleki,
Mm-hmm.
you have all the answers you need to see.
Right.
You type Lekki, you have all the answers. You know, for so many reasons. First of all, I would
All
say
the fun places too.
yes.
They're all on the island. Yeah.
So first of all, I would say the first major reason is even the government presence that we have around this axis.
Mhm.
A lot of infrastructure and development is happening on the Lekki, Ekpe, Ibejuleki axis, even up to Ekpe town. You know,
Yes.
Ekpe is part of Lagos State too. Just so you know.
So people say Ekpe is
No,
out of
Ekpe
Lagos.
is
No.
Lagos.
Oh.
Ekpe is part of Lagos State. So many things are happening. You know, some people will say, I want the mainland because there's an airport there. We have an airport
Coming up.
on the Ibejuleki axis.
Mhm.
We have the major road construction.
Yeah,
going
the
on
road. I must
Ibejuleki
give the
axis.
government that the roads, they are really working on the roads. I
The
must give
coastal
them
roads are
that.
going to be done very soon.
Mm-hmm.
We have vast lands. When you talk about development, you know, the mainland is congested.
Right.
In my own opinion, it's like when you say mainland, talk about the
Fully
likes of
built.
Ikeja, Maryland. You hardly see large expanse of land
Yeah, that's very
to
true.
go into serious development.
Everywhere seems like choked up. You know,
Yes.
seems choked
So
up.
and for an investor, you have the opportunity to buy as much plots as you want, keying into the future, buying ahead of the future.
Mhm.
And that future is not like I said, that future is not too far. That future is already
It's
now.
already
now.
Things are already happening.
Mhm.
So, excuse me. So you have the opportunity to buy as much as you want. If you're someone that wants to go into development, maybe build an estate, you have the opportunity to buy more land there. The Fort Bernard Bridge is coming up very soon. So, in fact, Google has the answer. Just type
More of what
Ibejuleki.
you are talking about in terms of government presence. Like, okay, now there are some key projects coming up in Ibejuleki, Ekpe. We have the Lagos State Film City. We have the
Lagos State Food and Logistics Hub.
So
many
now
things.
these are projects that would contain large expanse of land. We're talking about hectares.
Yeah.
So you won't get that space on the mainland. So now that's why the reason why government kind of moved all the attention. Alaro City, we have Lekki Free Trade Zone, we have the
Dangote
seaport,
refineries.
Dangote refinery.
So it's
It's countless.
A lot. And these industries are going to be human beings like us are going to work there.
Right.
People need to live around this environment. So many things happen. So at the end of the day,
And people will only live where they work. So
Exactly.
these developments are going to employ a vast number of people who will definitely
Exactly.
live close to where they work.
And talking about the good life, Lekki is the place to be in. We have the landmark beach. We have
yes,
We're not here to advertise.
we have Legacy Beach and the rest of them. Let's just put it like that. But Lekki is also a very good place for you to invest in and live because businesses, offices, they are all central around
this
this
axis.
this
the
axis.
Lekki.
Yeah, it's still the
Lekki
Lekki
is
Expressway.
more like-
It's still the same thing, more like
So I'm sure I've answered your question.
yes,
Yeah,
you
so when
are.
you go on, in fact, Google has it. Just try. Just put Ibejuleki.
Or
Or good
where
Lekki.
best place to invest
Best
in
in
Lagos.
Lagos.
Yeah, Google will
I'm
just.
sure you might even see Ekpe.
Yes,
You might be shocked.
Yeah.
Because Ekpe is fast developing.
It's
Those
fast
things are happening.
and it's still very
and it's still
affordable.
very affordable. And
It's still
for
very
now.
affordable.
So that's my own.
And
that's my own opinion.
for every smart investor, the best time to buy is buy a projected area that you are sure has prospect and at an affordable rate.
Yes.
Because in no time, in the next maybe 3 to 5 years, you won't be able to afford that same location anymore.
Yeah,
True.
that's
So
very
same thing,
Very bad.
like when they are Lekki Phase 1 about 20 years ago, they were still selling very cheap.
Yes.
You know,
About 20 years ago.
so if you were waiting, then probably you had money to invest in Lekki Phase 1, you're waiting, you're like, nothing is, I want to wait until it's fully developed. It's developed now, you will be able to afford it.
Yes.
You're talking about 300-400 million naira per
For a
plot.
plot of land. Yes.
Yeah.
Lekki
So
is-
now
very
Ekpe
true.
is still very affordable. We still have land selling for 2.5 million, 3 million on payment plan. I think this is the best time to jump into that investment.
True.
Yeah, and also houses, the price of houses go up every day. There are properties that, were selling in the Lekki axis for probably 75 million, 65 million. Today is around 106,
140 million.
140, 130. So the best time to invest, once you hear this, the best time to invest is now. Don't wait till tomorrow. The best time is now.
Now.
So thanks for having us. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome.
And I want you viewers to look out for us, and we'll give you more content, more episodes on things you need to know concerning the real estate sector. Thank you. I remain Mrs. Osato, the business manager to Hillstar. And thank you, Mrs. Ifiero, for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Candice Owaboy, for coming.
Thank you.
Till we see you next time on Moments with Hillstar. Thank you. Bye.